INFJs are one of the 16 personality types, and they are so rare that they actually take up 2% of the whole world's population. Crazy. Some people that you may recognize who are INFJs are Taylor Swift, Plato, Carrie Fisher, Jon Snow, Lady Gaga, Oprah, and Anna from Joy Anima. Now, the INFJ stands for IN is the intuition side, F means feeling, and J means judging. So these are the best adjectives to describe them. These types of people are very reserved and they like to judge from a distance. They are so tuned into other people's feelings and they have a creative power and a need to assist to help others in their time of need. And if you want to find out if you too are an INFJ, then stick around. You are very introverted. Despite what you think, INFJs can keep up very big social appearances. They don't mind hanging out in big groups, but they do prefer a very small group of people if they had a choice. And after a while, they find it very exhausting hanging around with lots of people or going to big high energy events. So what we like to do is relax in our own time. And we make sure that when we relax, no one else is around us. And that includes turning our phones off. So maybe you are the type of person that loved sleepovers as a kid, but felt so drained the next day when everyone left and you thought, I just need to stay in bed all day and just binge things on my phone. You get very overwhelmed with criticism and conflict. If you have an argument or any form of disagreement, you are gonna think about it for days. Struggle sleeping, struggle eating, you're gonna get muscle aches, head pain, and the conflict doesn't actually have to be about you personally. It could just be about someone you care about, but it's so traumatic that you are into the hyperdriven mode of your stress response. You are relentlessly driven. You are very quick to break off relationships. You are very quick to quit your jobs and anything, in fact, that you know has no future. Everything that you do or engage in has to have a future purpose, a future benefit. You are most definitely not a daydreamer, and your intuition lets you know when you need to cut your losses about the things you should be investing your time into. And yeah, you're very quick to say, you know what, I don't want this, I'm going. People always feel comfortable around you. You probably find that lots of people tell you secrets, even people you don't really know. You are an amazing listener, you are very charming, and you emit a nice warm aura. You have a great brain for interior design. An INFJ has an amazing eye for the visual side of life. You always buy high quality items. Food, clothing, DIY tools, makeup, sheets, whatever it is. You truly appreciate the quality craftsmanship, and perhaps you've been caught using the phrase buy cheap, buy twice many times. You have a huge fear of failure. So big, in fact, that you pay very close attention to detail, as you always strive for perfection and you do whatever you can to avoid making mistakes. The door slam. Like mentioned before, everything that you do or the people you speak with are all made to fit into your future purpose. And when something no longer fits you, you literally cut it off there and then. You deadbolt it pretty hard. During breakups, you are never that ex-partner who will check up on the other person. You literally, when you break up with someone, that's it. That person is pretty much dead to you. If someone from your past actually contacted you, say a couple of years later, you wouldn't even reply to them. You probably wouldn't even open up the message. You are known to resign from jobs immediately and projects very quickly when you realize that they are not moving you towards your end goal. Because being driven to achieve greatness is such an important value for you that you really do not think twice before you cut things off. You don't have time to lose. You are emotionally intelligent. You definitely can read other people very easily, and the intuition that you have lets you dig deeper into someone's brain to actually understand them. So you know when someone is lying to you or if someone is lying to themselves. Your intuition is your superpower. Now, the intuition is so big that you just kind of feel a little bit like, Am I a superhero? How did I know that thing was going to happen? And also, I knew this person was going to say this thing because they've done it in the past, possibly 3 years ago. I haven't forgotten. You feel the emotions of those around you very easily. You are a very empathetic person. People love to chat with you because they know that you will truly understand how they feel. But the downside is you do kind of take on their emotions a lot. If someone you are talking to is stressed and they're upset, you also feel those emotions. But if they are happy and excitable, you feel that too. You are an amazing person around animals because you can really get in tune to how they're feeling, and also looking after children. You are one of those playful types of parents or playful teachers who just knows how to get the kids giggling. One of the big downsides of being able to tap into the emotions of those around you is that you do take quite a lot on your shoulders from time to time. You don't like change and you struggle to understand yourself. You're the type of person that loves stability because obviously you know where you are going in the future if you have a goal set out. If you know what to do every single day, it's a pretty good thing to actually own because not many of the personality types are as driven towards their end goals. However, if something crops up where you have to change something, you can feel pretty anxious because one, in your head you are trying to figure out everything with your intuition. Is this a good change? Should I do this? What if this happens? And obviously it's going to make you think 10 times harder than the average person, which can take you off track to whatever project you are actually getting on with. Now, when it comes to change, you do get stuck in the mindset of, do I want to do this change? And yes, this change is really good for me. Sometimes you struggle to actually understand yourself. You're the type of person that can walk into a room of their friends and you just feel very alone. You kind of feel like a square peg that you don't really know quite who you are or what you should do as your life purpose, even though on the outskirts of things you are very, very driven and people always assume you have everything figured out. On the inside, you're a little bit lost. People say that you are very mysterious. You like to keep yourself to yourself and you're very selective of the people that actually get to experience that inner magic that you hold. So lots of people can say that, you know what, we've worked together for 12 years and I still really don't know who you are. It's very hard for people to predict your actions and your thoughts because you don't really let much on about who you are, the things you like or the things you don't like. You have a great emotional connection to the people that you care about. Just like I said before, people who don't know you don't really know how to read you, but to the select few people who you have opened up to, they will tell you how trustworthy you are, how loyal you are, and how emotionally tuned into them you are. They literally say you are the best people that they could ever know just because you are just absolutely amazing. You procrastinate a lot. Procrastination is the worst enemy for an INFJ. Now, the reasons that we procrastinate is sometimes we get distracted and feel that every situation has to be perfect before we can sink our teeth into something. You are the type of person that if you had a project due in 2 days, you wouldn't get nice and ahead with it. Instead, you would probably clean the house for those 2 days and then panic and think, oh my gosh, I have an essay to write. I need to get on it right now. And another reason that us INFJs struggle with procrastination is sometimes we fear that we might not complete that project to the best of our capabilities. Therefore, we put it off and we delay actually doing it because we think, I'm going to really suck at this, so I'm just not going to do it for a while. And then the guilt will settle in and then I will do it and I probably won't sleep for 2 days because I'm going to be up drinking coffee and finishing this project. You are a compassionate helper. You may be that friend in the friend group who helps out everyone, anything from advice to physical assistance. Now, naturally, you do gravitate towards people that actually need your help, and you may find that you become burnt out a lot of the time from helping people. But as the INFJ matures, they actually stick to their own boundaries and find it much easier to say no to helping out people. You are a deep thinker and a deep talker. You enjoy everything philosophical. You want to learn who you are. You want to learn where you came from, the whole existence of life, spirituality, religion. And because of this, you really do hate the small talk with people. You either don't talk to people because you think it's pointless and they probably perceive you as a shy person, Or when you do talk to someone, when you know they are on your deep wavelength of thinking, well, that's when you kind of hit them with very deep knowledge. You find it very pointless to watch TV because you're not benefiting from it. And you find it pointless to go on nights out where there's lots of alcohol to be consumed because, well, you're not growing as a person. You aren't benefiting that future version of yourself. You find it so hard to relax in the usual ways. Bubble baths? We don't like those. You don't really have a set wind down routine, and if you do, you probably struggle to keep it going consistently. You may find yourself trying to relax and then get in this whole heap of guilt because you think, I need to get on with this other project that's going to help me in the future. I may as well just do it. You hate wasting time, and you always find yourself comparing the slow moments in life with something that you should be actually getting on with. You have a great writing style. You could have a job where you have to write something, and you know what? This is the best career for you. You have this unique ability to understand language, and you were probably that kid at school that actually enjoyed writing essays. You know how to write things, and you know how to make them sound really good. You prefer to work alone. Let's say you don't have a writing career, but you are going to be a team player when needed, which is cool, but you prefer to work best on your own or with a small group of people who you can relate to and who work on that same deep thinking level as you. One of your biggest fears is that you are a bad person, and because of this, you find any way and every way that you can to help out other people. You are the first person to act in times of panic. For example, you don't hesitate. You will call an ambulance if needed. You will assist someone walking across the road. You open the door for people. You pick up hitchhikers. You donate to charity. Now, yes, obviously picking up hitchhikers is kind of dangerous, especially in these times, but in the back of your mind, you have this tingling sense of, I need to always do the right thing and help out someone because if I don't, it's going to eat away at me and I couldn't live with myself. So sometimes you won't actually say what you should and what you do feel because you just want to make the other person feel okay. So that's a lesson that in time you learn to kind of get over, and eventually you can just have that quick-witted tongue and say, you are a D-bag for this reason and I'm not holding back. You give the best advice ever. You could even have a career, for example, as a couples counselor. You enjoy being able to offer scenarios and advice to people. And you are also that solid person in the friend group who gives amazingly good relationship advice, even if you are single. People feel so comfortable to ask for your advice because of your ability to understand both sides of the situation. And obviously, with that intuition, you definitely know who's possibly in the wrong or who isn't and what needs to be done to correct the overall situation.